Hello there, welcome back. We're here today, and I'm going to start off a little backwards here today because I've had some issues with not being able to put the videos together for the final wars of season 24. There's been a lot going on at work, and obviously it takes a lot of time now adding the commentary. So I'll just do a round out on how the last three wars went for us. We unfortunately hit some road blocks towards the later part of the season, and we ended up losing all three wars. However, we were lucky and fortunate enough that due to the matchups and how it all played out, we were a master position number 20, so 17 if you count from excluding the top three, which, it's always great to stay master. It was a difficult and, stressful situation to be counting on others for us to stay there. However, all that matters is that we finished master, and then these are my stats. I feel like I could have done a lot better in terms of my deaths. I had some mistakes, and obviously the stress of the last few wars, and I ended up giving 3 additional deaths compared to the rest of the season. However, I still put in a lot of effort in trying to do my best, and I hope that reflects itself into this season, and that I can improve those numbers, and always keep improving. That's all that I've always strived for. So yeah, other than that, I just wanted to mention I had a really great time at X7V. They were a great alliance for me overall during my stay. I was there for a little over a year, and unfortunately it was just time for us to part ways. They're changing their approach a little bit for the upcoming season, and it was better for me to continue to pursue my goal to stay master. However, I have the most respect for all the people that remain there, and they're rebuilding the alliance and bringing some new fresh blood in. So I wish them the best of luck, and here we are going to move on to what's coming up with my new alliance for this season. So on that note, I have joined Agent Graphite. They are a solid master alliance with a solid group of folks in here. I have some friends that play here and that we've played together in other alliances. So it's definitely nice to join them and play together. There are some new people that I've started interacting recently with, and that they were eager for me to join forces. So I'm looking forward to a great season along these folks here. For our first war, we're going up against D69. They are a very known master alliance, and it's definitely not an easy task to defeat them. Being the first war of the season, obviously there's a lot of interest in either parts to lock in a win at the start so that we can begin the season on a good note. And you always have to take into consideration the rustiness factor of being in off season and the changes and transitions for bringing new recruits in and getting acquainted with everybody's rosters and assigning paths. So it's definitely challenging for that first war. However, here we go, and then we're going to go into these fights here. I have backup in section 1, so obviously no fights as an effect of that. And then I have path 5 with the 2 shared fights up the middle. So this first fight here against Havok, I've taken that before. It's pretty challenging if the defender wasn't placed with willpower. I had done a duel prior to entering this fight, and in the duel I saw that they had placed with willpower, so I was optimistic that would be the case, but still walking into the fight trying to make sure that that's the case once I start landing some of those parries or my armor breaks. So right here I can see that he has willpower, so that's good for me to keep control of the fight. However, you see that I've done quite a lot of mistakes in here. My first one being evading that first blast on his special one too early. So obviously that got me shook up, and having to manage back to getting my armor up. And I don't know, for some reason I cut my combo too short and ended up throwing my special 2 on his block. So that could have turned out really bad because I see that he's plasmas are starting to build up. Obviously, Warlock, whenever he blocks a projectile attack, aka all of Havok's medium attacks that he can hit into your block, that's going to drain some of his powers and keep control of the plasmas. But with Footloose, you always don't want to get into the situation that you're cornered and have the armor break, and then you don't have the safety net in case a plasma detonate comes around. So I'm lucky that that fight didn't go south, but I'm glad that the solo is in. Up next, we have this Sasquatch here on the first fight of Path 5. This is the one where you have to intercept to remove his protection. I did not play this too well with throwing this special 2, which activates his protection from the global node, as well as with me throwing my heavy attack that added another count of that protection. So now I'm left with having to intercept him, and I'm trying to play it safe so I don't try that during his Rage of Kinetic, because the damage from his ruptures probably would be nasty, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I waited out a little bit until his Kinetic ended, and then I found my opening to intercept him. One intercept is in, and then I removed 2 stacks. The second intercept landed, so now I can just fight normal. I decided not to block too much on this fight. I could have probably done that so that I could build my smolders up, but I got another nice intercept there so that I could do my normal damage. This fight is already going for super long, and you know, I know that Torch can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time once you have your incinerates, or in this case the Nova Flames applied. Obviously what I want to keep in mind is always the Rage of Kinetic, so that I don't for some reason try to go for a double parry, or with his specials that they're going to be the special one. If I end up blocking that, there's a really high chance for me to get stunned. I don't want that to happen, as well as I want to keep in mind intercepting or finding my openings on his heavies or special attacks for when the Unstoppable ends. So this fight is going for quite some time. He's regenerating a bit here. However, once I start to build back my smolders, that's not going to be a problem, because Torch is great to control the regen from that. I ended up eating that one special, but it didn't do a lot of damage, and I'm glad that I ate the hit instead of blocking it, because then that would have opened for him to land a full combo on me afterwards. But I think I was still a little bit shaken from the previous fight, and that shows here. However, I managed to get him down, so I'm glad for that as well. Moving on, we have this Invisible Woman on the next fight. She's basically the same as the previous fight that I have to intercept to do my normal damage. However, the extra risk here is that with Redoubled Determination and using Nick Fury, I obviously need to keep track of my bleeds so that I don't feed too much power in our attack rating to her that would cause me to take nasty damage on block, or even you know, due to the nature of this fight that I have to force myself to intercept. I obviously don't want to make a lot of mistakes here, because the fight could go wrong pretty easily. Other than that, it's just a straightforward fight for Nick against Invisible Woman. I decided to not go as much for my special 1s and focus on saving for my special 2s or 3s. The reason for that is because on the special 1, then I would keep an extra debuff on her for a long period of time, and then that just adds into the factor of the power gain and her attack rating. So right there, she got sneaky on me and faked out that dash in, and then I went for the intercept, and then she just light intercepted me. So here I'm just trying to make sure that I don't go into the decoy too early in the fight. I'm trying to keep a close attention into her force shield coming back into the protect, refreshing for her, and then me having to intercept again. So as you can see, that's a lot of things to manage in a fight. However, I got my intercept in, and from here I'm just trying to, again, make sure that she has a bleed on as soon as the force field ends up, so that she is going to start the invisibility paused. Then from there I have to find another opening for me to do an intercept, and then since I already have my special 3 banked, once I throw that out, based on the damage that I'll accumulate with his Fury from the intercept, that's going to be lights out for her. So I wish that I had stayed on my first life, however the fight was a solo, and that's all that matters. And to wrap up on my performance for this war, I'll have this fight against Immortal Hulk. I've done this fight quite a few times already. And shout out to Dream Crusher. He used to be a long time buddy of mine when we played together before in another alliance, and even during my stay at D69 in 2019. So great job with, you know, having that bulky Immortal Hulk there on defense. However, it's not a difficult fight for Warlock, due to the factor that, you know, Warlock is a extra large champion, so he's going to benefit from Protect if I ever activate it. That doesn't seem to be the case for Warlock often, but my strategy here is always try to push him to throw the special one. Try to intercept safely, because Immortal Hulk deals a lot of passive damage, and I don't want to risk any of that due to having armor breaks on him quite often in the fight. That's going to increase his attack rating, and then obviously, you know, with his full combo, he probably would take about 30% health in one shot from me, if not more, depending on, you know, if he's able to, for some reason, stack his rage, if he gets, say, a special one and chains that into his combo. But getting my intercepts in, I still had my tech boost running that I had put on mostly for the Havok fight. I'm getting him down here on his health, trying to bait that special again before I go in for another intercept. But I already am up to another special 2, got that intercept in, and then through that. Obviously now here with the Immortality, I'm just going to give him space. I have my infection up on him, so once he finished that out, he's not going to heal back. So basically I just need to then parry, or I could have intercepted, but I played it safe, landed that parry, and then just finished him off. We did win this war, so that's definitely a good start to the season, and hopefully we can put on a good performance again. But I wanted to give a huge kudos to my battle group. We were able to get a perfect war with 50-0. So that definitely felt nice, you know, with all that, the changes that we had to accommodate for, bringing the new people in and doing the planning and all that. So it's definitely great to see the results in the form of the perfect war. So great job to everybody, and then I'll see you on the next war this season. Thanks for watching.